I think 237 Anthony Joshua is a deadly Joshua. His punches are probably precise and just as powerful. His jab is underrated. The
What way did he
his
fight? Did he fight Dylan White at? What way? Like when they fought in
oh he
2015
fought he fought him
December. What way
maybe
was it?
around 240 something,
240 something.
almost two
But
yeah,
his
almost
conditioning
two fifty.
was perfect in that fight, bro. I don't think it's 240 something, bro. You think so?
Yeah, but listen, it, AJ made a lot of mistakes in that Dylan White fight, man.
What
He made a lot of
mistakes?
mistakes. You know,
What
he
mistakes?
he he's his guard was too open. He let he let he let Dylan White get shots off that he wasn't supposed to get. He wasn't he just I really have to watch that fight again to tell you the mistakes that he made. But that AJ was way too big and gassed out at the fifth round. Which you're gonna expect from big fighters like that. You know, every big fighters like that, people look at you like he's gonna gas out in the fifth round, and he's probably gonna struggle his way up to the final
I
bell
don't think he
until he
was
gets a
too big.
knockout.
I don't think it was too big against the White though.
I think he was too big, man.
Because he was able to like he was able to stay conditioned, okay, and knock out White in round 7. You know, that was the first time he had gone past round 3. Okay, even round 3, yeah, round 2 or so, round 2, yeah, in a fight. You know, and that's a fight. That was the first time, and he was able. Of course, he got clipped by Dylan White. I think in the second round, if I'm not mistaken, when they nearly cut off the fight, and I mean, White was like, White went crazy. However, looking at the his conditioning, he was well conditioned. He was well conditioned. So yeah, I mean, you might say I don't know what weight he was at, but I'm probably gonna have to look at it, to be sure, because he was well conditioned in that fight. I have to say that. Continue, bro.
To me, I don't think he was well conditioned because I thought I think he got tired too quick um, for that fight. And to me, he doesn't really put his hands up on it after he throws a punch. His hands are always down. Just a lot of things.
Okay, in your
That,
opinion, like
that
tell me now, what Joshua fight have you seen him in that he never got tired?
I gotta say the Pulev fight,
That's
the
the
Kuba
first
Pulev
time,
fight,
right?
and the Andy
And
Ruiz fight, and the
rematch.
Andy Ruiz fight. Yes, I think the funny thing is that if you ask me between the Kuba Pulev fight and the Andy Ruiz fight, which fight were you most impressed with? I was impressed with the Andy Ruiz fight, even though he still improved on. In the Kuba Pulev, he was better. Nah, man, I really like the Andy Ruiz fight. He was able to learn how to keep that jab in somebody's face, which is so important in this game, man. You have to learn to keep that jab in their face. A lot of these fighters don't do that. They don't keep that jab in the face. The jab is what really keeps people away, and the jab is what sets up other punches, right? But he's able to do that. He was able to cut Andy Ruiz in the second round, which shows how much of a precise puncher he is, and how deadly his punches are. I'm looking forward for him to do some damage to Usyk. If Usyk's makes the mistakes I'm hoping he does. So those are the things I'm looking forward to. But for him, he came in the perfect way for the Andrew Ruiz fight. The reason I'm not a big fan of the Usyk fight, um, Pulev fight, is he was still looking for himself in that fight. But I still think he still did a wonderful job. He was he had a he had a he had a he was learning. He put on some new skills. You know, not a lot of these guys can do what he does, especially in the heavyweight division. So I'm pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, yeah. So 237. You think that would be the best idea with for Joshua to come in, for this fight?
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely. I
it
think it's a
doesn't
good
look
fight.
it doesn't look it yet though. It's not looking it
because
yet, but
I think he's comfortable in that weight. I mean, what's more important? What's more important when you're fighting comfortably in that weight that you've been fighting in? The Andrew Ruiz fight, I forgot what. I think he might have came in a bit heavier for Pulev, but I think I honestly believe that 237, you know, going up to 239 is a comfortable weight for him because he's comfortable in that weight. Unlike Usyk, now he's got to find his way in that weight and learn how to be comfortable in that weight. So that's what I think.
yeah, that would be good though. Let's see. Let me play this right here, and yeah.
Southpaw is you do adjust your training, and
I think
we've seen
Mayo
from your
Joe's on.
Instagram and people around that.
Oh, Mao Joe, I didn't notice. I've not checked it. Yeah, normally I usually do, but I just thought you're the only one in. Mao Joe, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, I your side, everything now. Highland.
Yeah, yeah, not
Port
bad, man.
port
Not bad. Beautiful
port
weather
switch,
today.
Abby. Port switch.
No, Portlish, Portlish.
Portlish. Okay, Portlish. Okay, Portlish. Yeah.
Mm.
The weather is good, Abby.
Ooh, today has been, in fact, not just today. Yesterday, the last 3 days.
How do you guys
amazing.
have good weather in the UK? There, like, not the UK. You're in Ireland. Yeah, Ireland. How do you guys have good weather in Ireland? Why in the UK? Like, I always hear people complain about like bad weather there. So,
Well, I think that last year and this year has been good. It's not like Ireland. Ireland doesn't really have good weather, but we've been lucky. The past couple of years been good.
oh,
Been
that's
really
good. So, what do you make of a statement from one of our brothers, who is an American, of course, who said that Joshua would need to knock Usyk out to gain American respect and to match Fury's popularity in America?
Okay. My first question is, why does he need American respect? He's already made a big name for himself. He's still the most popular heavyweight. He's still the highest paid. He's still the one with the best resume. Why do this? I'm sorry, I don't have anything against Americans
As a
or
American
boxing
as
fans, but why do
as
you
an
think?
athlete or as a boxer or as an entertainer,
No,
there's this
the
perception.
work,
There's
the
this
work.
perception that if you
It,
don't make in
it's
America,
just a perception.
and also
Well, that's
you
their
have to actually
perception.
make it America. America is the powers, bro. What do you mean by that? I'm not a fan of.
I bet
I'm not
beg to differ,
I'm
my
not
brother.
I'm not a fan of America like that, because of the policies they make, the government policies, they may affect other parts of the world that are developing. However, when you look at their capital, and the commercial power they have, bro, if you don't make it as a musician, or like okay, let's look at Afrobeats for example. You Whiskey just I think Whiskey Essence Essence remix clock number one. I was in Made in Lagos, clock number one is album on Billboard, right? I saw how Nigerians were celebrating it like crazy. I mean, Whiskey has done a lot of he's done of numbers in the UK. Yet that didn't really that's to Nigerians just okay, it's normal. But when he did it, a lot of Nigerians went crazy for it. Saying the only two Africans to do that is Burna Boy and Whiskey. So they're like,
Only
wow.
the reason.
So
Yeah, the reason why
America
people would
remains
accept.
the commercial powerhouse. The powerhouse, whether we like it or not, is just the fact.
I'm not doubting that. Don't get me wrong. All I'm trying to say is that it is not a must. That it is. I don't really like it when people they have this perception, like you said, that if you don't make it in America, you've not made it. Before Wizkid started having his number one in America or whatnot, he was already a big name. Okay, he was already a superstar. He had already been nominated for Grammys. He had already won loads of awards, both local and international. So getting to number one in American Billboard doesn't really, it adds to his
He won
to his
Grammy. He
popularity.
won Grammy through a collabo. with Beyonce.
Well, regardless, with
Well,
Beyonce, yeah,
yeah, like
regardless.
this is his first project now. His first only project, his own project that is actually going far now. So, bro, if you, whether I like it or not, the Afrobeats right now is trying to break. Like Afrobeats artists are trying to break into the American market. We've not been able to do
You know,
it.
one of the reasons why
Like we've not been
Afrobeat
able
is
to do
doing
it,
well,
bro.
bro, you know one of the reasons why Afrobeat is doing well, not only in America, even in places like the UK and in some countries around Europe, because a lot of black people are now beginning, and I'm not talking Africans alone now. I'm talking even African Americans, British Africans, even well, people who don't consider themselves Africans, but they are black. Although they are Africans, but they don't consider themselves Africans. Everyone is now embracing blackness. Everyone is embracing going back to their roots. Most people now are beginning to come to that consciousness. Like, I truly want to know where my great grandfathers, where they came from. I truly want to know, because I know for sure I'm black and I'm not American originally. So a lot of people are beginning to embrace that culture, and that is why we're doing well. It's one of the reasons why we're doing well.
Yeah, but still,
So,
but listen,
and
Afrobeat is doing well now, but it still hasn't. We are yet to break into the American market fully. Like like
yeah,
reggae
but
did. Reggae broke into American market, and you're like,
yeah, it will take time.
bro, we
It
like
will happen, but it will take
we are
time.
not there yet. Like reggae did. I mean, what other genre of music that broke into America? I mean, I'm talking about foreign, not American made. Where reggae did that. Jamaicans are super talented, But Mali was everywhere.
Mhm.
Latin music, I don't know if they've done it already. I don't know, man. They have not really done it. Not Latin people in America listen to the music, but it's not popular among the Americans. The Americans. When I say Americans, I'm talking about the Caucasian, and the African Americans. Because the African Americans
I'm
control
not
the
putting
culture,
them anywhere.
the entertainment culture in America. They do control it, although not financially, but in terms of the talent. So Afrobeat is trying to break into it. So we need, listen, Afrobeat broke into the UK long time ago because lots of Nigerians there and lots of Africans there, and the Caribbeans are there, and with Caribbeans they like
Yeah.
good things, they like good stuff, they like good songs, they like good music, they like vibes. America industry is different, so it's bigger, it's more powerful. You gain more recognition from an American fan base or support than you gain from the rest of the world. It's just the fact,
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, bro. All I'm trying to say, the point I'm trying to make is that it's a bit ridiculous for every American or most Americans to say, oh, if AJ wants to make a name in America, he has to knock out Usyk. What about the people that AJ has been knocking out before Usyk? Okay. What about all the guys? How many guys has AJ knocked out? Even the great Klitschko, AJ knocked him out. He knocked out Dillian White. He knocked down Dominic Brazil. He's knocked out a lot of people. So what's the big deal? If AJ is now beginning to come into proper boxing where he's saying to himself, I don't actually have to knock everyone out because I'm probably not going to be able to knock everyone out. So if AJ knocks out Usyk, all of a sudden his stock will rise in America. Is that what they're saying?
No.
Is that what the
The guy
trying
is
to say?
saying that. The guy is saying that he needs to knock out Usyk because Usyk to them, it's to them like he's not seen as a threat. And
He's not seen as a threat.
yeah, Americans, like if you ask Americans like that, like they don't really see Usyk as a threat to Joshua though. Like this is why you see, like when you look at the betting line, okay, look at the betting angles. This is supposed to be a 60-40 fight. But people are even looking at it like a 80-20 fight, in favor of Joshua.
Usyk for me is
And I don't know, and this is not something that is nice because Usyk is a dangerous guy, So and
Usyk for me is a threat to any heavyweight. Usyk for me is a threat to Wilder. He's a threat to any heavyweight. He's a threat to Joshua. He's a threat to any. See, if Usyk turns up on his night, Usyk will give you a round for your money. He's not an easy fighter to fight. I know people said, "Oh, He's not looked particularly well in the heavyweight and blah 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 so far. But what you need to realize is that with those guys, with a guy like Usyk, they turn up when it's necessary. He has a winning mentality. He has a winning. Do you know what it means for somebody to have always won and to have that mentality that no matter what happens, I find a way to win? If it means I run around for 12 rounds and jab, 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 run, jab, and that's how I'm going to get my victory, he's going to try to do it. So I don't necessarily think that AJ needs to knock him out. I think that AJ should do what it takes, whatever is necessary. Like the way he fought Pulev. People are like, oh, you should have knocked it out in 2 rounds. You should have knocked it out in 1 rounds. Blah blah blah. All these kind of things. But at the end of the day, AJ took his time, broke him down. In the third round, AJ almost did it. He actually used up a lot of energy in the third round. It took a bit of time, another 2-3 rounds to regain himself, and then went back in there and did a job on Pulev. So it might be the same with Usyk. And if it means they go to everyone, listen, it is called boxing. The greatest heavyweight boxer, in fact, the greatest boxer in the history of boxing is Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali did not knock everybody out. How many people did he really knock out? He won most of his bouts on based on points.
Ali wasn't.
So
Ali
for
was
me,
not. Ali was not a giant like Joshua though. No, Joshua's a giant, bro.
Well,
Joshua is twice the size of Ali, bro. If you
yeah,
look at it. If
twice
you
the
look at it,
size.
yeah, it's twice the size of Ali. If you look at it, you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have to attend to something. Oh my God, I have to attend to
Okay.
something now.
Tajagbe, are you
If you
with
keep
us?
talking, I'll join back in a few minutes.
Ajagbe, are you with us?
Yeah. You know what? I like what yeah. I like what Mario Joe said. He AJ spent a lot of energy trying to get Usyk out in the third round. You know what? That's absolutely true. If that fighter that you're trying to knock out, is not fully
You said AJ
down,
spent a lot
is
of
not
energy trying to
stunned
get
with.
Usyk out. They have not. They're yet to fight, bro.
I mean, no, Pulev. I'm sorry, Pulev.
Pulev. You think so?
Pulev.
I don't see AJ trying to get
Okay, I
Pulev
know
out though.
you have to look at it like this, right? He was trying to knock him out until Pulev turned his back. Pulev still had that energy. Listen, to me, if that fighter is not wobbling and he's not seeing stars, and you only stunned him, there's no point in trying to knock him out, bro. Just continue what you're doing. The only way you're gonna get that amazing knockout is when you see that fighter, he's for a fact he's seeing stars, and he can't keep his feet up again, can't keep his feet on him. That's when you go for the knockout. But if that fighter still has a fight left in him, and he looks like he's not ready to go, but don't even rush him, man. Just continue doing what you're doing. It's gonna come again. You just don't. You only right now. You weakened him. You got him tired. You got him thinking. That's my that's my advice, and I'm glad Mario Joe brought that up, because that's actually true. And I think AJ has learned from that. AJ, I think he learns from all his fights. So Usyk will be a tough fight for him. Honestly, that's what I think. It's not gonna be no walk in the park like everybody's saying. AJ's gonna not know, man. I think Usyk is gonna be one tough fight. I personally would not be surprised if this fight ends in a draw, or Usyk taking the nod, if that guy's not afraid to really challenge Anthony Joshua. I believe if he challenges Anthony Joshua, that fight is gonna be so hard for that guy, man. So that's what I think.
Yeah, bro, that's true. Looking at the
Okay,
comments.
I'm back now.
Okay, continue, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, Ty. I was actually listening to what you were saying. So I was just about to say that, listen, at the end of the day, boxing is not only about knockouts. Okay. Do I want AJ to knock him out desperately? I would so love it if AJ could actually knock Usyk out. But if he doesn't knock him out and he's able to beat him on points, I'll still be happy with that, because it's actually part of boxing. It is not a must that you knock everybody out, and you're not going to be able to knock everybody out. Right now, there is an argument that Fury is the best heavyweight in the world. But how many people has he knocked out? Has he knocked out every of his opponents? Actually, no. and is still considered the best heavyweight in the world. Why?
Well, to
Because he was.
To Fury's defense, we have to keep in mind that Fury has not been known as a power puncher or as a knockout artist. Joshua came into the scene as a knockout artist, knocking each and everyone out. Okay, so it is different from Fury, bro. So, but I understand what you're saying.
Well,
You know, Fury is known as a boxer, not as a knockout artist. You know, Joshua came into the scene just like Deontay Wilder now. Deontay Wilder is known as a knockout artist, you know, as a knockout artist, someone that is going to go in there and knock you out. That's what he's known for. So when he got knocked out, when he got stopped by Tyson Fury, I was actually surprised, you know. It was like, wow. Although I was happy that he did at that time, not knowing that he's a Nigerian blood. So I was happy because of how, the Joshua, saga, and how, like, a lot of the Wilder, pro fans rubbish Joshua's name in a way. I was just like happy that Joshua, because Wilder didn't really speak positive about Joshua when he lost. When Joshua lost, he said, he doesn't have heart. He said he quitted. He said, he's not a true African or, true Nigerian. Nigerians are warriors, all this kind of stuff. So like when he lost, he's like, okay, karma. Like, this is what happens in boxing. You might laugh today. Boxing, like, sometimes I want to make this scenario right here. Sometimes people, like, you can be a freedom fighter for almost 20 years, and you don't know when you're getting the freedom. Or you don't know, like, you say, oh, this guy is bad, we have to remove him from power. And yet you be like fighting, the person still be in power till that kingdom come. In boxing, if you want to get someone out, if you want someone to be taken out, like, the person can be taken out in the next fight. So no fight is promised. Your next fight you're not promised to win. So you can be taken out at any time. You can be either knocked out or you lose on point. Like, this is what happens, but the scenario changes like with a blink of an eye. And this is what makes it very exciting, that when Wilder lost, I was happy at that time. And yes, because of how he did, kind of mock Joshua. Even Andrews Jr., the chameleon, was saying, like, rubbish Joshua's name as well. Saying he's not that good, he's not a good fighter, he's rubbish. And now, since Andrews Jr. got beat by Joshua, like, he came up with all sort of excuses. And one thing I like about the Mexicans is that the Mexicans, they didn't want to hear any of it. They didn't want to hear shit about it. They said, listen, you came in why you coming so heavy like that? You should have been prepared. And when the trainer, rumors came out that he left his trainer. He wasn't talking to his trainer after he won. He went to Mexico, did all sort of stuff. He forgot. He forgot being like staying humble. So when he lost, like, Mexicans didn't want to hear none of it. So Joshua, when Joshua lost, he was just very humble to say, listen, I got beat by the better man, I'm gonna come back. Even people suggested the guy, like, there were a lot of suggestions that I should have to retire now. Some fighters even said, they said that, if your fighter beat you once, if you're knocked out with the way Joshua was knocked out, there's no way you can ever recover, because it's like a trauma. It's like you're gonna be seeing the person, dreaming about the person all day. Whereas Joshua was just in his own world, working harder than he's ever done. And he got the win, and everybody, like, kind of shush. A lot of people that didn't believe in him. Even a lot of channels that I know that were like saying Joshua would never defeat Ruiz in a rematch. They all went quiet. Like, they don't even know where they are right now. Like, like, a lot of people now don't believe in them. Like, it's one thing to say, okay, this guy, we don't think this guy beat this guy, but it's another thing to be a pure hater, So some of them were just pure haters. So, like, Joshua, when they got that win, so they all went back to their caves and stayed there. They're waiting for another defeat, but I don't think they will see this time around, because Joshua is more determined than ever. And this current version of Joshua, who is not looking for a knockout, who is not trying to rush anything, he's just gonna take his time, box, and use his medulla oblongata. That guy, he is going to be very hard to beat, So, like one thing, the only Joshua weakness, his only weakness is the gas, the conditioning. And if he can work on that, bro, it will be unbeatable. That's a fact. Because Joshua has a very good chin. Okay, it doesn't have a weak chin. So that condition is his only weakness. Continue, brother. Sorry to interrupt. Are you with us? Are you still with us, Mario?
I think his conditioning is actually much better.
Yeah, it's getting better. I said that's
Yeah,
the only.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I think his conditioning is actually much better. Is that? Yeah, I was saying his conditioning is much better now. If you watch his last two fights, especially the one against Ruiz, I was too impressed, way too impressed. The guy was bouncing even up to the 12th round, literally non-stop. That is some impressive stuff. So, and now he's trying to, I believe he's going to go down into his 235, 237, 238, maybe something like that. And that means that he's going to be able to hang in there with Usyk. It's not going to be a situation where he will gas out. So it's going to be a good fight. See, I believe that AJ will try to look for the knockout. His desire will be to knock Usyk out, but he's not going to go in there and just try to be, wasteful with his punches just because he wants to knock him out. But if the knocks out, if the opportunity comes, which I believe it will, I think he will knock Usyk out. But if he doesn't knock Usyk out, I'm still going to be happy with a win. What really matters in boxing, in any sport, is the win. You need to win. If he goes in there and tries to knock Usyk out and he gasses out, and Usyk, you think Usyk can't knock him out? If he really gasses out, Usyk can do it. So he needs to be. I'm sure his team knows exactly what to do. And the talk of, he has to knock him out to gain American respect and all these things, I don't believe in that shite, man. In all honesty, he needs to win. He needs to keep the belts. He needs to get into that undisputed fight, either against Wilder or against Tyson Fury. For me, that's the most important thing. All this talk of knockouts or no knockouts, man.
Do you know that? You have to also look at it. Listen, look at it this way. You saw David Hayes' statement saying that Joshua should not go tit for tat against Usyk. Should not box. I shouldn't even box with Usyk. He should implement his size, his reach advantage, and basically beat him up. So in other words, Hay sees Usyk like a good fighter, but not a competition for Joshua. In my opinion, I don't know if that is a good sign or a bad sign. You know what I mean?
Listen, you need to understand that Hay is going to talk that way, and I'll tell you why. The guy that beat Hay, right? What's that guy's name again?
Tony Bellew.
The guy that beat Hay, Usyk beat it. Tony Bellew, exactly. Usyk beat Tony Bellew. So, listen, in all honesty, Hay is going to say that, and I'm sure, Hay wants. Do you
think that's a reason, though?
But I'm not going to.
Do you think that's a reason?
It might be power of it, bro. It might be power of it. Well, for me anyway, in all honesty, Hay was the same guy that said that, Tyson Fury has no chance against Wilder. So you see, sometimes the fact that you're a boxing expert or you know so much about boxing doesn't mean you're going to be correct all the time. Sometimes you will get it wrong. Okay, so Hay is not in Joshua's camp. He doesn't know the plan. He doesn't know what they are planning. In that camp, they know exactly what they want to do. So let's just allow the fight to come, and let's see what Joshua is going to do. But I believe that Joshua is going in there with the right mindset and the right mentality, and also the right game plan. I'm going to go in there. I'm training for a 15-round fight because Usyk is going to be very mobile in that fight. It's going to be very, very mobile. See, all this thing of you have to put your weight on him, you have to put your strength. You put your strength on the person you can catch. What about if AJ is not able to catch him in the first 5, 6, 7 rounds? You get what I'm saying? If the guy is not there for you to actually hit him, what are you going to be hitting?
That's true though.
That's my point, really. Because people are like, oh, you have to use your size. You have to do this. Okay, use your size against something that you can actually catch. If you can't catch him, how are you going to use your size? So you should go in there that in case I can't catch this guy, I have to box with him.
Yes, brother.
I have to box with him. So you're not gonna go in there and be like, oh, just use your size, use your physique, use it. What about if you don't catch him? Then it means you can't do it. That's my point, brother.
Times, brother.
That's actually a very good point because if you look at it, like I said, AJ's team, they're not stupid, right? They've seen that every single one of Usyk's opponents have done the exact same thing Chisora did. They all went at him instead of boxing with him. The closest person I would say was probably Tony Bellew until he gassed out and got knocked out, right? Usyk is a late starter. At the start of the bell, Derek Chisora jumped on him. He had success. Up until he started gassing out. Eventually Usyk took over, right? Derek Chisora was able to land some meaningful punches, but not enough to where Usyk was hurt. So I like I said, the AJ's team is not stupid. They're not gonna repeat the same shit everybody has been doing. They have a game plan in mind, and I believe AJ's a good is a fighter that I believe he executes game plan and sticks to the game plan, man. You know the most pressure that he's ever been in, that makes him a good that makes him a good executionist, is that the one with the Andy Ruiz, man. Listen, that guy could have went in there and you know not done what the game plan was. He could have completely done the opposite. A lot of these fighters go in there with a game plan, but they don't follow the game plan. So you got to give it to AJ that he follows the game plan and he sticks to it. So I'm looking forward to this fight. Which like I said, I believe the round won't start up until the seventh or the eighth round. That's when it gets really, really, it gets it's gonna have people on their seats, up on their feet, and trying to figure out who's gonna be the victor in this fight, man.
Mal Joe, Lucan is saying, he said, what point are you making? Want to respond to him?
What point in terms of what?
Well,
we need to be more like.
But Lucan, you have to be more specific, bro. Like what point in terms of what? He said, what point are you making? Anyway, Ty, you are in America, okay?
Well, if maybe
yeah, what do you say, bro? Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to say something?
Okay, is it Ty? You want Ty to go, or you want me to go?
Like you want to respond to Lucan or what?
Well, yeah.
What did he say?
He said, "What point is Majo making?"
No, Lucan said, "What point?"
Your last statement. Your last statement.
In one context, what does it mean?
Your last statement. Say your last statement.
Okay, my last statement. Okay, basically, what I was trying to say. See, everyone is talking about AJ using his size and overpower Usyk and all of that. Okay, but my point is that Usyk we know has got really good feet. Okay, Usyk is a really, really good mover. A lot of guys, the reason why they have not been able to beat Usyk is because they couldn't catch him. A lot of guys have not been able to catch him. Now, if you watch Usyk's fight against Tony Bellew, I've watched that fight maybe 3-4 times, I would say. Tony Bellew was doing very well because he was boxing with Usyk. He was doing well. He was catching Usyk. He was doing really good. What let him down was his gas tank. Okay. Now, if you go in there with the intention of just overpowering Usyk, what that means is that you're going to be holding a lot. You're going to be putting your weight on him. You're going to be throwing some heavy shots. But you need to realize that when you throw heavy shots, you're expending loads of energy. Now, if you throw these heavy shots and you don't catch Usyk, then you're already giving Usyk the upper hand. So my point is, all this thing of, oh, just use your size, use this, use that on Usyk might not work. You can only use your size, your energy, your everything on a guy that you can catch. What about if AJ can't catch him in the early rounds? Because everyone is saying, oh, put it on him in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. No, AJ should go in there. I'm sure they have a game plan. And my guess is their game plan is get in there for the first 3, 4 rounds, box with this guy. Don't waste too much energy. If you get the opportunity to put it on him, but don't waste all your strength. Don't lose your gas tank. Okay? Box with him for a couple of rounds, because what Usyk does, right, in most of his fights is that Usyk will come in, okay, and he will not do so much in the first few rounds. He will let you tire out. You're going to use all your strength. You're going to be throwing bombs at him. And then in the 5th, 6th round, that's when Usyk gets into the game. He gets into the fight. And then that way, you are already tired because you've used all your strength, all your gas tank in the first 6 rounds, trying to knock him out. So from the 6th, 7th, 8th round onto the last round, you don't have the gas tank anymore. And that's when he's just getting started. So AJ should be very tactical. You see, this fight is going to be a very tactical fight. It's going to be like football. It's not one of those fights where you just get in there, bam, 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 and you get in. You need to be very careful. AJ needs to be sure that, listen, I'm going to box with him, jab, 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 jab this guy. See, the same way Usyk gets his opponents tired, I'm also going to get Usyk tired. Okay? He's going to need to work as well. It's not going to be me working and he's running around. No, we're both going to need to work. And then eventually, AJ can put it on him. But people should be very, very mindful that Usyk is a very good boxer and he can move. So AJ should not waste his energy in the first few rounds trying to knock this guy out and can't catch him. That's going to be bad. That's my point.
Yeah, Lucan, hope you heard it right. You heard it clear. That's Mario's point. Lucan says AJ can't go 12 rounds with Usyk. Mark my words. Yeah, I mean, your opinion, bro, but we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I don't think it. I mean, AJ has gone 12 rounds. He went 12 rounds with Klitschko and knocked him out in the 11th round. You know, so he's gone to, like, I feel like this fight wouldn't be. Listen, let me tell you one thing. This fight might be a boring fight. Okay, I will tell you the reason why. I think if, like you're saying, like Usyk is a late starter. Now, Usyk will be expecting Joshua to unleash his bombs, unleash all he's got on him. Okay, in the early rounds. But if Joshua, he will be expecting that. If Joshua doesn't do it, and he want to pick up in the in the run 5, then like Joshua probably, like, this will be a very interesting fight where like Usyk will find ways to hold, and then the fight will not be as entertaining as we envisioned, or we are envisioning it to be. But I will still say though, this fight will actually reveal a lot about who Usyk really is, and how tough he is mentally. I told you, this guy, being a Ukrainian from former Soviet Union, the guy's mindset is military. He's got military mindset. He's been boxing for, since he was a baby. This guy started boxing even when his mom was pregnant. When he was in his mom's womb. That's how really dedicated this guy is to the sport of boxing. So we'll see how it goes, though. We'll just see how it goes and what happens next. So let me take a look at the comments right here, and then we proceed. Let's take a look at Wizard Sleeve says Fury sucks. his boyfriend water really sucks. I mean, what do you mean by that, bro? Wizard, sleep. What do you? I mean, Furious Song. Furious is a good fighter. But what do you mean by Furious Song? I don't think Furious sucks, bro. He's a good fighter. Wizard says the US have not had a decent heavyweight this century. Well, they are we've got Jared Anderson now, who they say is the next big thing. What do you guys make of Jared Anderson? I mean, he will be like, oh, we have Adekoya. Yeah, Adekoya, how far? Are you with us, Adekoya?
Cool, man. I did. I flew up, man.
Oh, you did up now. Moguja.
Yeah, briefly.
Ijebu boy.
Yes. We thank God.
You're too much, brother.
How's things? Are we talking Gerard Anderson or what were we talking?
No, Joshua, one of our American brothers said that Joshua must knock out Oleksandr Usyk to gain American respect, and of course match Tyson Fury's popularity in America. Now, what's the rationale of that?
I disagree with that. I don't think it matters. Because the ones that hate on Joshua already think he's overhyped.
No. The guy is not a hater. Although, of course, he support Fury. He support Fury, but he's not a hater, bro. He's not a hater. I will tell you that.
No, what I'm saying is that most of the people that say these things, is that they already believe that Usyk is not a heavyweight anyway, and that Joshua should be knocking him out. So my point is that whether he knocks him out or he doesn't knock him out, they are not going to be convinced about him until he beats their hero. So until he actually gets in the ring and beats Tyson Fury, you're not going to change such people's minds. So Joshua should just focus on winning. However that win comes, whether it's knockouts, whether it's points, just focus on winning.
Yeah, so me and my Joe, we had a little bit of argument. We had an argument regarding regarding a boxer or an entertainer needing to make it in America to be recognized globally or to be respected globally. He said that Joshua don't need America. And I've said that Joshua financially don't need America. However, for his legacy, he might. What do you make of that?
I'm actually torn on that one because there's this thing like America controls boxing, and I don't believe that. Yeah, they're the most they're the what's it called the spiritual home of boxing, and then most of the major revenues generated from the United States. But boxing, there's the markets all over the world for boxing. It's you don't have to be in America to be great. However, I do think if Joshua hadn't gone to America at all, I might not say this, but I think the fact that the last time they saw him in America, he was getting knocked out. I do think it's important that he goes to give a different impression. I think that's where I'll put it.
Yeah, we all might say, I told our brother Maujo that, listen, America is the powerhouse. It's the powerhouse of entertainment. No matter what field you are. If you're a singer, I also told him about Afrobeat now. Try Afrobeat artists. I love you saw how happy Nigerians were when it was reported that Whiskey Whiskey album made Lagos picked #1 on Billboards, right? On Billboard charts. They were so happy. I didn't see them happy like that when he did the same in the UK.
Yeah, but Yeah, you see, to me, I see that as a flaw of our own people
Well, I
because
mean,
we see
what
America
flaw do you
as
mean? Okay, it's just like, okay, now let's take a look at
what
it.
to strive
The
for.
no, wait, hold on. The powerhouse of African entertainment is where? Nigeria, right?
I said Nigeria. Yeah, okay.
Nigeria, bro. Like some might say
South Africa might have something to say, but yeah.
South Africa might have something to say. However, Nigeria is leading in entertainment. But one thing though is that I've noticed people are saying that Nigerians, we don't really accept other people's, like Nigerian media, radio stations, TV stations don't really play foreign music like that. Like, I mean, we need to change that like we need to change it, change that attitude, I guess, But in Nigeria now, everything about money, this kind of thing. You need to give somebody something. But okay, let's say South Africa. South Africa is big in entertainment. However, the most talented artists from Africa are Nigerians. The most known as well. Okay, Nigerians, we are trying to break into. Our target is America, is American market, not the UK. We've already taken over, like they've already taken over the UK market. But the thing is that the UK market, I don't think is generating money like that. Like, you say? Hello, are you there?
You see, the thing is that I agree with you. I agree with you. The only thing I was saying is that it's us Nigerians that see America as this big prize.
It's not just us Nigerians, but every country. But what do you mean by us Nigerians? It's every country. That's a powerhouse of entertainment.
Listen. If Wizkid,
even Drake. Okay, now even Drake. Even Drake, a Canadian. He made his name in America. Justin Bieber. Without, like, this is what I'm telling you right now, bro. Like,
yes.
Without America, you would not be known like that.
Are you
like,
compared to now?
Why? Why say compared to? Why not? Is it Canada a country like Nigeria or what?
Because Canada is right next to America now.
I know, but Drake had to go to America to make it. To make it, to get the respect that he has right now.
Look at the population of Canada and look at the population of America.
But population is not how you like. Population has nothing to do with music, bro. Don't you? Are you not saying don't you? Okay. I told that Maojo. I said I can only mention. I mean, how many foreign product? Okay, let's say music wise, as taking over the American market or as kind of inspired American market. I like reggae did. Reggae is the only one I can say. The Jamaica is not. There are not many. I don't know how many they are. Like Jamaica, is it 10? Are they up to 10 million? Jamaica. It's not. It's
in America. Or?
Jamaica. Yeah. Are they up to 10 million?
Oh, I don't do the population.
But they're not. I don't think there are many like that. It's an island. It's a small place. Now, an island conquered the American, took over American music scene at one point. Even created hip hop. Jamaicans actually created hip hop, in Queens. So it's not about population, bro. So that's what I'm trying to tell you right now.
It was their.
I can't hear you, bro. I don't know. I've been on your my phone. I've been on your phone. I don't know you. My joke, can you guys hear? Can you hear me? Let me see. If this is my fault, maybe.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
We can hear.
Yeah. But son of, why they caught? Why is he cutting with son of? Like, you call back. Or are you busy? Get what you do for that. I be the wire somebody for that.
The point I was trying to make.
Yeah, I'm responding though. You think else they go to come back?
Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that I don't think Joshua needs to conquer the US, but I think it would be good for his overall long-term legacy for him to.
Yeah, I said his legacy. He needs it for his legacy. No, for money, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it for money. Of course, the money in America is of course going to be is much. They pay more in America than in the UK. Okay, we know that. But Joshua is a big household. Is an household name in the UK. However, that is not enough. Okay, for his legacy, he does need America. You know, he does need America for legacy. This is what I said. Ty, do you think it's a lie, or do you think I'm lying?
Because Klitschko didn't conquer America, and his legacy is still intact.
Yeah, but Klitschko,
So
listen,
I
bro,
don't know if I say
bro,
no.
nobody talks about Klitschko in
Although
America,
it might
bro.
not be
Like,
enhanced.
really, to be fair with you, nobody talks about Klitschko brothers in
Of
America,
course they do.
bro. They
Of
don't.
course they do.
What are you saying? Like,
Anybody
an
that's talking heavyweight
average
division,
American don't really know who
anybody
Klitschko
that's
is.
talking-
Okay, when Klitschko was in America, listen,
Yes,
when we
okay,
are
yes, I'll agree with
an
that.
average American don't know who Klitschko is. You know, only boxing fans there, pro boxing fans, know who Klitschko is. You know, know the Klitschko brothers, but an average American don't know. Like compare.
Can I make a point?
Yeah.
Can I make a point?
Mhm.
See, AJ for me is a different kind of a breed. I'll tell you why I say that. You know, most boxers, when they want to make a big name, especially back in the days, not so much now, they go to the US. Even look at the likes of Eubank Jr. Went to America to make a name, but didn't really make any name over there. Now and then in the past, you look like a guy like
Even now, you still have to go to America to make a name. Joshua was just fortunate in a way. Like how many Joshua has UK?
That's what I'm saying.
How many Joshua has UK produced? Even till now. So Joshua is in the position.
Bro, I made a statement before.
Okay. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, you remember I made a sentence first. I said Joshua is a different breed. Remember I said that? I said he's a different breed because he didn't even have to go to America to make a name. He already made a name for himself, a massive name. Okay. He may not be the most popular guy in the US in terms of heavyweight boxing, but globally, Joshua is more popular than any other heavyweight that is active right now. He's more popular than any of them, all of them globally. Okay. And how do you measure popularity? You see, I've always asked that question. Is Wilder really more popular in the US than AJ? Because Wilder never sells out.
Let me tell you something.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something.
Fury that we're all talking, bro. Let me finish my point, bro. Let me just finish my point.
I know where you're going. Okay, finish your point. Finish your point first.
Okay, I don't want to lose my train of thoughts. Now, even Fury that we're talking about, how big really is he in America? Or how big really he is in America? Because from what I remember, he had to go in there with Wilder the second time to actually make a big fight. The 3 fights he had in America didn't make nothing. The first one with Wilder didn't make nothing. They had to give away tickets.
May finish.
You know, his 3 fights in the US didn't do well. How popular is he really? But then AJ went to the US and sold out. He sold out Madison Square Garden. So in all honesty, I wish sure that this whole thing of Fury is so popular in America, I wish sure it's not just a myth. That's my point.
Fury is popular in America, you know, among like Fury in America is seen as a white guy. You know, the Great White Hope is American thing, you know. Fury popularity is gonna it depends on his performance, okay? And it depends.
How do we get this?
It depends on his performance and how much he tried to assimilate into the American culture. If Fury assimilate into the American culture, way of life, it will be far more popular than Joshua and far more accepted. Because why is it like that? Because America has been looking for a Great White Hope, you know, for a long time, because the sport in America have been dominated by African Americans for decades, you know. So this is what I'm saying. We don't want to admit it, but color has if Fury in the UK is just a gypsy guy, okay, seen as a gypsy guy. In America, it's not seen like that. This is the thing in America. Joshua will be
Yeah,
popular.
but
Popular.
currently the
Popular.
question is Fury really as big as we're making it out to be? That's the question. In all honesty,
Well,
because if a guy
it
is
depends
not
on the
able to
location.
sell out
Okay.
an
Right now,
arena,
let's talk about right now. Right now, Fury is more popular than Joshua in America, and
Yeah.
more known by important personalities. Okay, because of his win over Wilder, and how he did it, which was unexpected in a way. So, how does Joshua get to that level in America? In the UK, Fury is also big in the UK. Everybody knows Fury in the UK. Joshua is bigger in the UK. It says Joshua has more loyal fans in the UK than Fury. Fury has fans, okay, crazy, very crazy fans, are also loyal. But Joshua fans are likely to spend their money to go watch him than Fury fans. Fury fans might spend, but a lot of the people that just like Fury, they just like him as a boxer, but wouldn't really spend money to go watch his fight. Okay? Especially when he's fighting someone they don't know, like when he fought Seferi and Pianeta, those kind of guys. If Joshua were to fight those guys, people will still go and watch Joshua. Joshua has loyal fans and also fans that are ready to pay. Fury has super crazy fans. Even Fury fans are crazier than Joshua fans. That is because Fury fans see one thing. They see Fury as one of theirs. Okay, he's got the color for it. That's why a lot of them always kind of hate. Like you ask them, what's the reason you don't like Joshua? They cannot really give you a clarity. They will say, oh, it's fake, but they can't really give you a clear answer because he doesn't have the color that that they want him to have. And secondly, he kind of embraces a little bit of his Nigerianness, and the British society.
He embraces a lot of it too, not a little bit.
I would say a little bit for now. I know why I said a little bit for now. I know I said a little bit for now. I don't want to go to it, but I know I said a little bit for now. Now, for Fury, when they look at Fury, they look at a guy that is pro Churchill. British fans are crazy over Churchill, bro. Even though that guy did a lot of bad things in Kenya and we know what he did already, but they're crazy over that guy. Remember when Joshua you can actually see how they turned their back on Joshua. Listen, Joshua's got loyal fans, and Joshua got fans that just want to go watch his fight, or because his fights, Joshua fights are like a party. Going to Joshua fight like going to an event, where you just go there and have fun and those kind of stuff and watch the fight. That is how Joshua fight is. Because the way that they switched on Joshua during that BLM speech, even though he wasn't the one who wrote the speech, he just read from a paper, and they just because of what he said, support your community became a problem. If that was to be a Black American, for example, they won't say that, because they know Black Americans or African Americans a lot of them are self-conscious. They talk about their blackness. Some of them might not claim to be from Africa. They might not accept it, but their blackness, they talk about it. They are proud of it. I don't know about now, but they are Wada, for example. Wada don't care what you say. The guy would stay. He's a proud Black man. Okay, he don't care about anybody. He don't care what's coming. He don't care about whatever you say about him. And this is why one of the reasons why Wada is not really like that in the UK. Because they saw Joshua. You have to say the reason why. First of all, remember during the Wada Joshua conflict, during the saga, UK fans were more of the side of Joshua than Wada, because Joshua is not a spoken guy like that about his blackness. Wada is. You know what I mean? Wada is very outspoken, and the guy will tell you he's a king. He will tell you about his ancestors. He will tell you about slavery. He will tell you what is like. Joshua doesn't say that. These are two different people with two different mindset. Joshua consciousness is different from Wilder's consciousness because they both grew up in different places. Wilder grew up in Alabama. You have to understand how discriminatory Alabama is. The history alone will tell you that. So coming from that kind of background, you can understand why Wilder is the way he is. That's why when you guys were like, I used to be a big critic of him. But after reading about the guy, after actually like trying to be on his shoes, like just to see, asking questions around, you notice that his environment made him who he is. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I see it as a good thing. I know sometimes I associate it as too much, in the way like when you like talk about having a body on your record. I don't think that's nice. That's a nice thing. But he said he's not doing what I'm speaking. That's Bronze Bomber. Bronze Bomber will do anything. That's what he said. So I didn't say that. So this is what we're seeing right now. Joshua needs America for his legacy. No doubt. No matter how much we try to say, he doesn't need America, he's making the money in the UK. He needs America for his legacy. He needs it. He needs it. No doubt about it. He needs it. Tajak, but do you think I'm wrong? Tajak, are you there? Are you with us?
Yeah, it's a bit loud over here. You said Joshua needs who for the legacy?
I said he needs America for his legacy.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, you heard me.
I don't. I feel like I don't. I feel like that's a no because I mean Joshua's known globally. The guy can fight anywhere, and his legacy. He's already building one. At this point, I think if he fights anywhere other than America, man, I think he's straight. America's just not the home of boxing anymore. Unfortunately, I have to say it. It's not the home of boxing anymore, and it's because of these fights that aren't being made, and just because these fights aren't being made, the people don't really pay attention to boxing in America anymore. And they don't have a lot of these good fighters that they did in the past. Don't forget they had some really amazing fighters in the past, but now it's just they have these good fighters, but these fighters are not willing to fight. So I just believe Joshua doesn't need American to be part of his legacy. I feel like it's the other way around. I honestly believe it's the other way around.
Bro, I don't agree with you at all. I don't agree with you at all. Remember, Joshua has a lot of sponsors, and just imagine the scale of it when he fights America and get a win there. Bro, you're looking at it a different way, but you like America is the home of entertainment, and it does need America, for his legacy, not for money, because it's got already the money. His legacy to be mentioned alongside the greats, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Ivan Holyfield. Those guys, Floyd Peterson, Sugar Ray Leonard, all those guys, he does need it for legacy. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Anyway, guys, let me not waste you guys' time. I don't know what's wrong with the internet right now, but yeah, it's just messing up a little bit. Stay tuned for my exclusive banger right here, the home of Nigerian Africa boxing, and right here we give you guys nothing but extraordinary bangers. We'll be right back very soon. and yet cover some other topic.